Hey guys, Eric here, back with another guest review. This time around we have the King of the Sea, Aquaman, done by Sideshow Collectibles. This is the premium format movie version. So now I don't normally collect movie versions, so why did I order this? Well, let's get them unboxed and I'll show you why. Alright, so let's get them unboxed. I'm super excited to see how this is going to look in my collection. Before we begin, I did go ahead and remove all the pre-packaging material. I just wanted to say Sideshow did an amazing job making sure this statue arrives to you safely. I don't know if the shipping supply store had a sale on packaging material, but they included everything. There were pieces in plastic bags. There were pieces that had rolled up foam under them. There were pieces that had bubble wrap around them. There were wedges of foam in certain places, so they really went all out to make sure this didn't break. Also, if you do need a detailed review video to see where all the foam goes back together, because it is a little tricky to figure out where it goes back, you can contact me on Facebook. You can find me in the Batman Statue Collectors group. I'd be more than happy to send you a private video showing where everything goes back, including the packaging materials. But for now, as always, let's start off with the base. So this is the exclusive edition. It was limited to 500 pieces. This is number 244. The collector's edition was limited to 1,000 pieces, so a total of 1,500 pieces altogether. Up next, we have the body, which has one key on his right foot. Slides right in. Up next, we're going to put on the exclusive arm. The exclusive for this piece is him holding Ocean Master's helmet, which I love. I think it looks great. Up next, we're going to have his portrait. Really great job on the portrait here. And it goes into the neck area perfect. They did a really good job at hiding that neck seam. Up next we have the trident. So now the trident comes in two parts. You got to slide the bottom in first. So if you go behind his leg, there is a whole area in his hand, so you can get that slid through. And then the top of the trident just has a long metal rod that snaps into the bottom piece. So again, good job at hiding the seam of the two parts there in between his hand. This can rotate a little bit if you want to rotate it or slide it up and down. And then next we just have the two pieces of seaweed. Okay, yeah, great magnets. See, we went right in, pulled it right into the base. This one goes in the back. And there you have it. Not a difficult setup to do. And so far, he's looking great. All right, let's get to the review. So when looking at the base, it's a lot nicer in person. A lot of pics I've seen make it look very dark and muddy, but it's actually more of a turquoise color, and you have hints of green, like in the octopus arm there, for example. If you take a close look, you'll see some seashells over there. It resembles a coral reef or what might be part of Atlantis, but even though there aren't bright colors, you do have pieces of coral scattered throughout the structure. And then you have the Aquaman movie logo on the front with a different texture than the rest of the base. The base actually reminds me of the New 52 Aquaman comic book cover, issue number 18, where he's sitting on his throne. It has the same colors and also incorporates the octopus arms and crab claws, so perhaps there was some inspiration for this from that artwork. But yeah, overall it's nice and detailed, but it does get lost with the muted colors. Also, the seaweed looks a little cheap being plastic. I personally would have loved to seen a base with some blue translucent resin and a water effect similar to what they did with the first premium format. But the base is not where this statue shines. The focus is definitely on Aquaman himself. Looking at his boots and his gloves with the green armor, it's probably one of my favorite parts of the statue. I like how they kept it looking like fins, but with a modern touch. It's very futuristic looking. The green, it has a high gloss shine that really pops, and then there's just so many details packed into the design with the scales, and if you look closely at the foot right there, you'll see each scale is lined with a yellow gold color. Again, the design and how the fins flow looks amazing. Like, for example, look at his gloves and fingers. There's all these little details of tiny scales that looks incredible in person. If you look behind the green armor, you'll see he's wearing gloves that have tiny little scales. The colors shine like a rainbow effect between golds and coppers. It's super impressive with the paint and the details. Look at the fingers and how the scales are overlaid on top of one another. It's a really cool design. Then taking a look at the gold areas, again, you have a nice shine in his armor, and the sculpt with all the details of the fish scales and the sculpt of his anatomy and the muscles look great. The paint is gold, but then in between each scale you have a more darker orange color to give it some contrast and make each scale really pop. It also really reflects the light nicely, same way, real fish scales would in real life. In fact, the whole sculpt in general of this statue is really fantastic. I really like the art direction they went with in this piece, with the pose and his expression. You have his stance. It looks iconic with the one leg up. He's leaning back, but looking up with the trident angled slightly towards the back while holding Ocean Master's helmet. It's just really impressive, and it has great presence to it. So now his pants are a mixed media. It's the only fabric on this statue. Everything else is fully sculpted. These days I try to stay fully sculpted if I can, but it's actually quite nice looking on the statue. The light green is like a stretchy nylon material, but then there's an overlay of a darker green, which is creating those circular designs, and that material has a rubbery feel, so there's a nice contrast within the fabric they used. I don't think they would have been able to capture that with paint, so it was probably a smart move. You can even see the fabric extends all the way down to his foot, and then the green armor overlays on top of it. Looking at his face, they definitely nailed the accuracy of making this look like Jason Momoa. He has the tattoo going up his neck, which looks really good, the way they did the beard and gave him a little bit of stubble to blend it into the face. The face actually has some slight texture to it. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but the skin is not flat looking like most premium formats. This reminds me of translucent skin resin, similar to what Prime 1 uses. You can see he has pores and a little bit of freckling going on, which looks really nice. Look at the flow of the hair, which makes it look like it's floating underwater. It's a really nice effect. Great job with the hair strands. It's really impressive from the back of the head. You can really see the flow of the design. And even the eyes with the yellowish hazel glow really complements the color of the gold armor. Typically, Aquaman has blue eyes, but I gotta say, I'm liking the way the hazel looks here. Another favorite part of this statue for me is the exclusive, which is him holding Ocean Master's helmet right there. If you didn't have the chance to pick up the exclusive, the collector's edition would just be his arm without the helmet. Looking at the helmet, the silver adds some nice contrast to break up the yellows and the greens. If you look close at Ocean Master's helmet, his red eyes are actually transparent, so you can see through them, and also they used a clear resin where the spikes or the gills are on the side of his helmet, so another nice little detail there. And then finally you have the trident. It's all gold except for the tip. It starts to blend off into more of a white gold looking color, which looks really good. Moving down, I like how they hid that it splits into two halves. If you look up close, there is some hieroglyphic symbols sculpted into the staff of the trident, which looks really nice. And overall, there's some really nice details all throughout the trident. As far as the trident goes, I really like how they have this posed with the statue. When it comes to Aquaman statues, the trident being so big can take up a lot of room in a display. So the way they have this angled with this piece works very well, not to take up so much space in your display. So as mentioned, I'm not a movie statue collector, so why did I pick this up? Well, if you look around, I am collecting the Justice League line. I have the entire Prime 1 New 52 line, but they never made an Aquaman statue. So there's not many other options out there for quarter scale Aquaman statues. You have the original Sideshow Premium Format. While I do like that, I like the base on it a lot. I feel like it looks a little outdated compared to what's being put out nowadays. With 3D printing, the details and the quality looks a lot better these days. So I opted to pass on that one. So I figured, why not? Let's order the movie version. I'll put it in my collection and see how it looks. Hopefully it looks good. And as I said in my review, I'm very happy with it. I think it goes well with the other comic characters, especially the New 52 line. He has a lot of shiny elements on him, especially with the armor and the boots and the green and everything. It's nice and shiny and it pops. The colors pop. It goes with the rest of the New 52 line because they're also have like a high gloss shine to them and their colors pop. They're very vibrant looking. So I think it works well with the New 52 line. It is a movie statue, so yeah, I would prefer if he had, maybe like a short-haired, blonde hair portrait. But in the comics, Aquaman does have long hair and a beard at times, and Jason Momoa does kind of look like a comic book Aquaman. His hair's a little bit darker and he has tattoos on him, but overall, he looks like Aquaman in the comics pretty much. So I think it works out in my collection and I'm happy with it. So yes, Aquaman will stay in my collection. I'm super excited to finally finish off this Justice League line behind me. He is a movie piece and I don't collect movie pieces, but I think he fits well in my collection. I am still excited to see what Sideshow does in the future. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to see a new premium format comic version coming soon. Hopefully this year or by next year. They've been revamping the DC line and I think he's going to be next. So if they can, give us the two portraits, with the long hair and the beard and one with the short hair, and then do some type of blue wave translucent water effect, I think you're going to have the perfect Aquaman statue. They already did an amazing job on this one. So if you're on the fence about ordering this one now, definitely pick him up. He's worth it. He looks amazing. For me, this is why I ordered a movie version Aquaman statue. All right, thanks guys, and until next time.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.